This is the room that even master ghost hunters hesitate to explore, and hotel managers are often too afraid to step foot in. This is the infamous Haunted Room 320 at the Oxford Hotel, a symbol of classic opulence. Built in 1891, the Oxford is the oldest hotel in Denver. It has witnessed railroad tycoons, miners striking it rich overnight, and bloody tragedies buried beneath layers of luxurious velvet. But don't let the glamorous exterior fool you. Inside those red brick walls are souls that have never checked out. Before we begin, comment below and let me know where you're watching from, what time it is, and maybe even which haunted house you'd like to explore next. Our story begins not in a dark bedroom, but in the loudest and liveliest part of the hotel, the Cruise Room Bar. Opened right after Prohibition ended in 1933, the Cruise Room was designed in a stunning Art Deco style, modeled after the lounge on the legendary Queen Mary. Here, laughter, clinking glasses, and smoke always filled the air. But among the cheerful guests, there was a quiet, melancholy man that the bartenders knew all too well. They call him the Postman. On cold winter nights, especially around Christmas, staff would often see a man walk into the bar. He wore an old-fashioned postal uniform from the 1932nd, looking exhausted, his shoulders slumped as if carrying a heavy burden. He would sit at the bar and order a beer, but he wouldn't drink it immediately. He would just sit there, staring into the void, muttering a haunting phrase, "The children. I have to get the gifts to the children. I have to get there." Legend has it that in the 1932nd, a postal worker was tasked with delivering Christmas gifts to the nearby town of Central City. A fierce blizzard struck that day. He stopped at the Cruise Room for a beer to warm up before continuing his difficult journey. That was the last time anyone saw him alive. The following spring, when the snow melted, his body was found on the trail, surrounded by the Christmas gifts that never reached the children. He had frozen to death in loneliness and regret. Today, the postman still returns to the Cruise Room. He drains his beer and leaves. But the chilling part is that when the bartender goes to clean up, the glass he just drank from is still full. He is forever trapped in that fateful night, drinking a beer that never empties, worrying about gifts that will never arrive. Leaving the bar, let's take the elevator up to the 3rd floor. The thick carpet in the hallway swallows your footsteps. The yellow light casts shadows on the vintage paintings hanging on the walls. Let's stop in front of door number 320. This is the home of the hotel's most famous and aggressive spirit, Florence Montague. The story takes place in 1898. Florence, a beautiful young woman, checked into the hotel with a man. The most popular legend says she caught her husband cheating with another woman right in this room, and in a fit of jealous rage, she shot him and then killed herself. However, the historical truth, recorded in newspapers at the time, is even grimmer and starker. According to an article in the Herald Democrat dated the 10th of September 1898, Florence Montague checked into the hotel with a man named H.C. Lawrence. They used false names and claimed to be married, but in reality, they were lovers, and Lawrence was a married man. That night, there was no loud argument, only the sharp crack of gunshots tearing through the night. A bellboy heard the shots. He saw Lawrence stumble out into the hallway, clutching a bullet wound in his side, bleeding profusely. Immediately after, 2 more shots rang out from inside the room. When everyone rushed in, they found Florence lying on the floor, a bullet through her chest. She had died instantly. Lawrence was rushed to the hospital but didn't make it. Before he died, his last words were that Florence had shot him because he refused to give her more money. A tragedy of love, money, and despair. Whatever the truth, Florence's spirit seems unable to move on. She remains in room 320, and she has a very specific preference. She hates single men. If you are a man sleeping alone in room 320, be prepared. Many male guests have reported being woken up in the middle of the night by an invisible force violently ripping the covers off them. Some felt someone grab their arm and pull hard, as if trying to drag them out of bed. Even more terrifying, some have seen the apparition of a man standing at the foot of the bed, yelling angry words about corrupting his wife. The lights in the bathroom turn on and off by themselves. The faucets turn on, and sometimes guests feel an indentation on the mattress right next to them, as if an invisible person has just lain down. What does Florence want? Is she punishing unfaithful men like her lover? Or is she lonely and looking for a replacement? Whatever the reason, hotel staff often try to avoid putting single male guests in this room. Let's head down to the basement. This area used to be a luxurious barbershop for gentlemen of the past, but today it is a public restroom area. The air here is always cold and smells musty, mixed with a strange scent. Cigar smoke. Even though the hotel has banned smoking for a long time, the smell of cigars still wafts through, sometimes strong, sometimes faint, as if someone is standing right next to you blowing smoke in your face. The women's restroom area in this basement is home to a rather rude spirit. Many female tourists, while in the stalls, have heard the main door open, heavy footsteps walk in, and then a man's dry cough. They think someone entered the wrong room, but when they come out to check, there is no one there. The room is completely empty. Some have even seen faucets turn on by themselves or stall doors lock tight, trapping them inside. Rumor has it this is the ghost of an old barber or a male guest from the past who still keeps his peeping habit even from the other side. Can you imagine being in the most private of places, knowing an invisible eye is watching you? Finally, there is a place in the Oxford Hotel that even the staff are reluctant to set foot in: the attic. Previously, this area was open for ghost tours, but now it is used as storage and is off limits to guests. Perhaps there is a good reason for that. Hotel staff say they frequently hear footsteps stomping overhead when they are on the floor below, even though they know for a fact no one is in the attic. Objects stored there move on their own. Old chairs stacked up one day are found scattered across the floor the next. During paranormal investigations, haunting electronic voice phenomena, EVPs, have been captured here. There are whispers, sighs, and sometimes piercing screams. Some staff members flatly refuse to go up to the attic alone because of the heavy, creepy vibes that press down on their chest the moment they walk through the door. The Oxford Hotel today remains one of Denver's most magnificent and expensive destinations. You can go there, enjoy a delicious steak, sip on complimentary bourbon, and admire the exquisite Art Deco architecture. But when night falls, when the hallways become deserted, be careful. There was also a personal experience from a guest who stayed here. She brought along ghost hunting equipment, an EMF meter, and a REM pod. Throughout the night, these devices constantly alarmed, the needles jumping to the highest levels with no explainable power source nearby. She heard a man's sigh right in her ear and a woman's shrill scream on her recording. It seems the party of spirits at the Oxford Hotel has never ended. Thank you for listening to the story of the Oxford Hotel. Do you believe past tragedies can imprison souls forever? Or is it just the imagination of faint-hearted guests? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next terrifying journey. Goodbye, and see you again.